skillful. He was doing lab experiments by the 3rd grade and studying physics and chemistry by the 5th grade. When he was 9, he once told one of his cousins, "Ask me a question in Latin and I will answer you in Greek." Oppenheimer went to Harvard and then on to Cambridge University to pursue a doctorate in physics. There, Oppenheimer, who struggled with depression his entire life, grew despondent. His gift was for theoretical physics, and his tutor, a man named Patrick Blackett, received no consideration. Would Oppenheimer have lost his scholarship at Reed? Would he have been unable to convince his professors to move his classes to the afternoon? Of course not. And that's not because he was smarter than Chris Langan. It's because he possessed the kind of savvy that allowed him to get what he wanted from the world. They required that everyone take introductory calculus, Langan said of his brief stay at Montana State. And I happened to get a guy to be only 2 parenting philosophies, and they divided almost perfectly along class lines. The wealthier parents raised their kids one way, and the poorer parents raised their kids another way. The wealthier parents were heavily involved in their children's free time, shuttling them from one activity to the next, quizzing them about their coaches and teammates. One of the well-off children Leroux followed played on a baseball team, 2 soccer teams, a swim team. That word, of course, has negative connotations these days, but Leroux means it in the best sense of the term. They acted as though they had a right to pursue their own individual preferences and to actively manage interactions in institutional settings. They appeared comfortable in those settings. They were open to sharing information and asking for attention. It was common practice among middle-class children to shift interactions to suit their preferences. They knew the rules. It's important to understand where the particular mastery of that moment comes from. It's not genetic. Alex Williams didn't inherit the skills to interact with authority figures from his parents and grandparents the way he inherited the color of his eyes. Nor is it racial. It's not a practice specific to either black or white people. As it turns out, Alex Williams is black and Katie Brindle is white. Alex has those skills because over the course of his young life, his mother and father, in the manner they negotiate with those in positions of authority, he didn't learn entitlement. He learned distrust, distance, and constraint. It may seem like a small thing, but it's a crippling handicap in navigating the world beyond Bozeman. I couldn't get any financial aid either, Mark went on. We had just zero knowledge, less than zero knowledge of the process, how to apply, the forms, checkbooks. It was not our environment. If Christopher had been born into a wealthy family, if he was